So this is a long video. I sped up parts, this is sped up, and chunked it up a bit, but I wanted to show more of the full process. Here I'm getting just the tiniest little bit of black. Sometimes I do this with some blues. I've done it with pink. I didn't really like the way the pink came out. A lot of the times I'm just using white, or I'm leaving it more of the canvas raw. I really kind of like that. And but the color gives it just a little bit more depth. And I always do a texture. It helps the string grip, but also it looks cooler. And then, of course, there's always a big giant mess afterwards. And I measure the string out compared to the canvas when I'm wringing it out. And then this takes a long time. I cut out most of this part, but you have to kind of detangle it and look for the shapes. Sometimes I am very deliberately shaping it into something. Sometimes I'm very deliberately not shaping it into something, so I can just kind of see what comes out. And here I started this lady. She's pretty cute. I didn't like her dress, changed that, and she still is pretty cute. And ultimately I decided to go in a different direction with this one. So I liked her well enough, but was kind of over it. And when the string has been like fully saturated like this, and like when I take it off and put it back on, it definitely gives a different texture than if I leave some of the string not as coated in the glue. That gives a softer effect on the 3D layers, and it is soft to the touch in that way. But when it's coated like this, it is a bit starker, which I do like, and the 3D layers have a more firm texture to them. And here I'm just kind of shaping it out slowly. I really liked this silhouette right away, and just kind of played into it. I loved the way that the feet kind of just laid perfectly. I wanted to play into that. And the placement of her head being kind of cut off. Sometimes I do break out the scissors. At the beginning, I was really strict with myself, where I just had to work with the string as it was. And I don't know, some purest part of me was like, you can't cut it or change it. I don't know, the last few months I've started cutting where I want to make it fit the way I want it to fit. But I love the idea of her head kind of being cut off in this, because it reminds me of when I was younger and we would take pictures on disposable cameras, and you never kind of knew how it would come out. And sometimes like a picture you really liked of someone, or the only picture you have of someone, has the head cut off a little bit, and so you kept it anyway. And this reminds me of that a lot. And I think she's so cute. I just love her. Her hair blowing in the back, and I just think she's so cool. And I'm gonna give her an arm. And I decided then that I would have her finger pointing, so I've kind of shaped it at the end there, but I have to play with it a bit before it's going to work that way. I never want my arms to look exactly like arms. I never want any of my figures to look exactly like, what I'm aiming for in that way. Like, clearly this is a woman pointing, but I don't know, I love that abstract quality to it. I think that's really interesting, and definitely funner to look at than, I don't know, for me, just a regular old person. The finger was a little bit difficult for me. I wanted it to stay 3D, so like if you look down at it from the top, you can still see that it's a rounded finger, and the hand also is kind of popping out that way. And it turned out really cool. I really like it. This whole piece is probably one of my new favorites. I'm a huge fan. And then also recently, in the last few months or so, I've been adding a just straightening out the glue at the bottom where like the ground would be, just to give it a little bit more, I don't know, context to what it is. Some people have a hard time seeing the figures. To me, they're so obvious. They're just so blaringly obvious. But I don't know. I really love her. I hope you guys love her too.